Good evening and greetings, everyone. The song you heard, the reggae rhythms and the lyrics by Bob Marley, it says, one love, one heart, let's get together and feel all right. Tonight is a special night, and I'd like all of us to share one love and make this occasion a very lovely one. I'm deeply honored to be here tonight and truly humbled to be inducted into the Michigan State University Athletic Hall of Fame. To be recognized in this way among so many remarkable athletes who have worn the green and white is something I will always treasure. At this time, I'd like to say thanks to the Hall of Fame committee for being so gracious and courageous as to give me the votes to get me in this hallowed hall. I'd like to thank Michigan State University and its president for being the great institution it is. I'd like to thank the athletic director, who knows a little bit about soccer himself. Congratulations on being a national champion also. And big shout out, big thank you to Kate Sauter. I mean, her melodic voice on the end of the other line was the one who told me that I was inducted. And I give thanks for that. I give thanks for the help that you have given me in help to get my guests and my family situated so they can enjoy this great celebration. At this time, I'd also like to congratulate fellow inductees. You guys did a job well done, and your perseverance, resilience, and the skills that you showed have made you get the highest honor from Michigan State University Athletic Department as inductees in the Hall of Fame, and congratulations. My time at Michigan State was defined not only by records and championships, but by the people who made those moments possible. Yes, I was fortunate to have set records for most goals in a season, most goals in a career, most assists in a single game, and All-American honors. But those numbers tell only a small part of the story. Behind every goal was a teammate who created the opportunity, a coach who demanded my best, and a family who supported me every which of the way. I was privileged to play on 3 Final Four teams and 2 NCAA championship teams. And I had the responsibility of serving as captain for one of those teams. Those experiences taught me the meaning of teamwork, leadership, and resilience, lessons that have stayed with me long after the final whistle blew. To my teammates, some of whom are here tonight, I share this honor with you. We pushed each other, believed in each other, and created memories that will last a lifetime. Some of my teammates are here tonight, and I'd like for them to stand as I call their name. Nick Archer, Guy Bush, Hall of Famer, All-American. Tommy Kraft, leading assist. He's got the records for the most assists at Michigan State University. And a good friend of mine, Kenny Hammond, whose father was my biggest fan. Thank you for coming. Thank you guys for coming. To my coaches, the coaches of my youth, I want to thank them for their vision and guidance and for never letting me settle for anything less than excellence. I only had one coach at Michigan State, and that was the legendary Gene Kenny. And Gene Kenny offered me a scholarship, and in doing so, he made me the first Jamaican high school soccer player to be recruited and given a scholarship to a Division I school in the United States. So for that, I have to give Gene Tenney much thanks. Gene was a very interesting person. He spoke at rapid fire speech. You know, the first time I met him, I didn't know what he was saying because it was coming so fast and furious, you know. But, you know, I saw him looking at me a funny way, and I was wondering why, you know. And then I said, yeah, he thinks that I'm too undersized for the position that I play, because I play the striker position, and in that position, you have to be there with the big guys, and you got to jump and do a lot of things, you know. So he looked at me with a look of concern on his face, and then, you know, it finally came out. He said, you know, Tony, we play Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and they got big guys, and, you know, it get rough in there, and you might get hurt, you know. When he got finished, I said, no problem, coach. You know, I've been doing this thing from I was 5 years old. I've played with and against grown men. As a matter of fact, in my neighborhood, all the grown men like me on their team. So just relax and just watch, you know, just wait and see what you got in this little package, okay? So the first day we had practice, it was the freshman team and some of the subs from the varsity against the varsity team. The varsity team with a couple of All-Americans in defense. But man, I just destroyed that defense that day. I mean, I ran rings around them, I demoralized them, I scored at will, to the point that, you know, one of the All-American guys who was playing center halfback, he got so flustered that he started tackling me real hard. So after one of the tackles, I got up off the ground and I started swinging with hands, legs, feet, anything on my body that could move, I was swinging, you know. Well, you know, everybody was surprised because, you know, this little quiet guy, you know, he's like that. And there was a hush on the field. And the prevailing thought was, damn, this little dude, he not only can play, but he's got some dog in him, you know. Well, when I looked over at the coach, I didn't see that look of concern on his face again. He had a smile, and as long as I was at Michigan State, that smile stayed on his face. Rest in peace, Gene. So now I have to speak to my family. My family is broken down in three parts. The part where the ones who have made their transition and are waiting for me to come and preparing a place for me, like my mom and my dad, who the Most High created and made me the one that they produced to this world. My grandmother, who really raised me, and she was a medical person herself, and thought, you know, she taught me values in, you know, compassion, empathy, kindness, those things that have still stayed with me all this time. And to my beloved son, Jamal, the first, who departed this life some time ago. And I know he's looking down on us right now and he's saying, hey, Pops, somebody finally looked in that record book, man, and saw your name. So, you know, you make sure you thank him for me, you know. I do that, son. For real, I do that. My family that are here with me tonight to help me celebrate consists of my wife, Jerry, a Michigan State University alum herself, and she's the greatest thing that ever happened to me here in East Lansing. She's the matriarch of our family, and at one time she literally saved my life because in my junior year, everybody was gone home for Thanksgiving. I was by myself, and I was gravely ill, and on our way to get on the highway to go to Detroit, she just stopped to check on me. She found me sick, rushed me to, we had a health center at the time, Olin Health Center, and they diagnosed me with a ruptured appendix. So had you not shown up, I probably would not be here tonight. Thank you very much, dear. Okay. Um, my wife and I met at the end of our freshman year, and we just celebrated 55 years of wedded bliss. It was hard, but it was beautiful, you know? Okay, so I have here my son, Kahari, and when my wife brought Kahari home from the hospital at 2 days old, Bob Marley was staying with me at the time, and he picked him up and said, yo, this one is going to be a musician. And Bob Marley's vision was right to the point because Kahari became an accomplished drummer, percussionist. He's a producer, a writer, and a performer of music. My daughter, Jamila, who stepped away from her busy schedule in Portugal and flew here, got here this morning. Thank you for coming, babes, and enough love, okay? My other Jamila in my family, she's not my daughter-in-law, but my daughter-in-love. Thank you for being who you are, sweetness, okay? My two grandsons, Lord and Jamal, they're the joys of my life right now, in the twilight of my life. And I just take pleasure and pride in watching them excel in their sports and also in the classroom. Thank you, fellas. So now, my extended family. It consists of the Smiths, who they've been on a journey with us, for a long time, to Jamaica, to Michigan, Grand Rapids, Wyoming, Michigan. You've been with us on a journey every which way, and thanks for being there. Your company, we can never forget. Okay? So it's the Smiths, and it's Diallo Smith, it's Kamal Smith, and Darylyn Smith, who is the matriarch of that family, and Dr. Jamil Smith, who is also an MSU graduate. Thank you all for coming. The next part of my extended family is the Fords. Raymond Ford, his wife Ouida, and his son is here. And it seemed like I did a pretty good job in mentoring because Raymond, as a little kid who lived across the street from me, he followed me to the same high school and followed me here to Michigan State University where he graduated. Last but not least, my brother from another mother, my bona fide friend, Dr. Leo Saucer and his wife Audrey. I depend on you for lots of advice, lots of recommendations, man. And everything that you told me is very invaluable. So stay just the way you are, okay? In closing, I'd like to say that being part of the Michigan State community has been one of the great benefits of my life. This Hall of Fame induction is not just a recognition of past accomplishments, but it's a reminder of and I have to turn this page, just give me a chance. I just don't like doing these things, but it's a reminder of the times and the values that I got from this university, okay? Come on up. Yeah, so the values the university instilled in me, like commitment, perseverance, and pride in being a Spartan, I take that and I run with it as long as I live and even when I die too, So, thank you, Michigan State University, and thank you to the Hall of Fame committee, and to everyone here tonight, thanks. I'm deeply honored to accept this recognition. As you go back to your homes and your communities, go in peace and love and spread peace and love, because it's not just a hippie thing. It goes a long way. And as always, go green.